Before we start this video, I did want to mention that I am an affiliate for Arteza, which means that I have left links below to the products that are in this video, and if you click on one of those links and buy the products, then I will get a small commission from that purchase. First of all, if you do that, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Secondly, I wanted to say that this does not affect my opinions that I share in the video about these art products whatsoever. I give my honest opinions, so no need to worry about that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I was pretty excited about this project, so I think you'll enjoy it. So let's get into the video. Hey everybody, today I am doing an unboxing for you and a big, fun, messy, probably, I don't know if it's gonna be messy yet, art project afterwards, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into the unboxing. So I don't know how many of you remember, but I did an Arteza review on some of their colored pencils a few weeks ago, and so they sent me some more art products. And there's a lot in this box, and I'm so excited to show you guys what's in here. I did unbox it already, and I filmed it, and I lost the footage, so I'm just gonna unbox it again for you guys. So right here, we have 24 Woodless watercolor pencils. We have some acrylic paint. There are 12 acrylic colors in here. We have our 72 Fineliner Pens. I'm so hyped about this one. We also have 16 colors for face painting. We have 15 miniature brushes. I didn't really have any complaints with their packaging, except for this one, which I don't know if they could really help this. The covers for a lot of these miniature brushes came off. They're still in the package, but they're just kind of like all over the place. So I don't really know if they could fix that, but that was the only complaint I really had with the packaging. We have 48 real brush pens. That's what they're called, real brush pens. For my project today, I'm also going to be using this Arteza or Arteza. I'm really not sure how to pronounce their name. I'm going to be using this Arteza sketchbook that has 80 sheets in it. It's a drawing pad, actually, not a sketchbook. And I'll also be using this Artist Loft canvas and my face. So let's get going. The challenge for this piece was that I had to use every single art supply they provided to me in the same piece, and yes, that includes the face paint. So I had to get a little creative with this one. My idea was, because I had these pins and watercolor pencils, which you use on paper, and then I had like acrylic paint, which you should use on canvas, and then I had face paint, I decided to do kind of a layering project. I put the canvas on top of the paper, and then I put my hand on top of that and traced it all out, and then I just made the canvas and the drawing pad combined to create like one picture, and then you'll see what I did with my hand on top of that. Here are the swatches for the acrylic paint. This acrylic paint was not my favorite. It dried extremely fast whenever I put it on my palette, and so it was really inconvenient for me because I like to have lots of options for colors. I do like to make my stuff colorful and use multiple colors for like shading and stuff, and so it was just hard whenever the paint would dry before I was done with it. So that, I'm starting out with my least favorite product, but the other ones I did like. The brushes, though, they were also a little bit hard to use. I don't know what the material is. Maybe it's nylon or something. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I didn't really like the brushes all that much. Maybe it's just like my personal preference, or maybe I'm just used to the brushes that I use. So the acrylic paint and the brushes I wasn't super impressed with, but I made it work, and I do think the colors are beautiful, and you know, some people might like this. I know acrylic paint does dry fast normally. If you want paint that dries really slowly, you need to get oil paint, but I feel like this could have lasted a bit longer. Like the other acrylic paint that I use, it doesn't dry that fast for sure. So because the acrylic paint and the brushes were kind of hard to use, this didn't turn out that well. The painting is my least favorite part of this project, but I did the best I could with it, and it all looked pretty cool coming together at the end, so I can live with that. Alright, these Woodless watercolor pencils. Oh my goodness. I have tried watercolor pencils in the past and I really did not like them. To be fair, I did use a cheap brand. Let me see. I used Royal watercolor pencil. So like it's a really off brand. So I guess comparing these to the ones that I used before isn't really a fair comparison, but I really liked using these. And I like the fact that they're woodless as well. They smoothed out really nicely, and they did look like watercolor when you put water on them, and that's the whole point of watercolor pencils, and the ones I used before really did not have that effect, so I was very happy with these, and I think now that I have these, I will be using watercolor pencils a lot more. Alright, so the Fineliner pens, I was so excited about these because I love using pens, and I don't have that many, so this is kind of like restocked my supply of pens, and I was really happy with them. One complaint I did have was that a few of them did not seem to go on the paper very well. It kind of felt like they were almost out of ink, but I don't know, maybe they just need to be worked out a little bit. The colors were all really nice, and I will definitely be using these in the future, although in the project I didn't really use them all that much. I used them to outline a few things, but I wanted to save the majority of the coloring in for the brush markers. So I did outline a few things, so I technically used them in the project, even though it's not really a big portion. Alright, now we have the real brush pens. So just something I wanted to draw attention to, I have two Dolphin Gray pens, and I looked at the packaging, and I'm supposed to have one Dolphin Gray and one Parma Gray, but I do not have the Parma Gray. Guys, I found another duplicate. I have wine red here, and then I also have another wine red, and I believe the color it's supposed to be is neon pink. So like, again, it doesn't bother me that much because it's not like I use every single color, but I can live without neon pink and Parma gray, but it's just like you should be more careful, I guess, about about packaging and just packaging the right products. I'm pretty sure that if I were to call them and say, you know, I got double colors in my package, they probably would send me a replacement. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I wanted to let you guys know everything that I'm seeing. So yeah, as you just heard, I did have a bit of a problem with these, with the duplicate colors. I think Arteza should pay more attention to what goes into their packaging, but I mean, I was happy with these overall. I've had some brush pens in the past, not a whole lot of experience with them. I mean, I do have my Copic markers, which have like a brush tip, but that's completely different. But these markers were really nice. The colors were really nice. They went on very smoothly, and I really enjoyed coloring with them. And I will definitely be using these in the future as well. So far, the products that I like and that I really recommend to you guys are the Woodless watercolor pencils, the Fineliner pens, and the real brush pens. And you know, if you're a fan of acrylic paint and you don't mind the drawing too fast part, then I mean, go ahead and get the acrylic paint too. Finally, we have the face paint, and I was very excited about this because I really like painting on myself, and I always just use like paint that I get from Michael's, which is like acrylic paint or tempera paint. I've never actually gotten like professional face paint before, so now I know that it's safe for my skin. And I painted this on my hand, and I did not wash it off right away, and it lasted for most of the day, which does not happen with the other paint I use because it usually chips off. I was happy with the face paint, and I think it's a good product as well, and I also recommend it if you are looking into getting face paint. For the hand, I didn't try to make it match the rest of the picture. I mean, the little vines that are on my fingers, they did match the picture, but I didn't really care much about the flowers matching the picture because I felt like it was like my hand was touching the paper, and so the flowers were coming out from under my fingers, if that makes sense. So down in the caption with all my affiliate links, I also have a discount code for you guys. So be sure to check that out and get yourself some of these awesome art products. And here is the final piece. Of course, it's not a piece that I can keep forever because it's all very temporary, but I thought it was a creative idea, and I was pretty happy with how it came out. So, to recap, this is the acrylic paint they sent me, and this came with 12 colors. I wasn't super pleased with the paint. It dries extremely fast, and yes, acrylic paint does dry fast typically, but this just dried really, really fast, faster than the usual brands that I would use. They did have nice colors. Here is the sheet again. All the colors of the acrylic paint are on this side. Overall, I think Arteza is a pretty good brand. I just wasn't super thrilled with their paint. We also had these miniature brushes, and my complaint with these mostly was just that the caps came off in the packaging. They were also just kind of hard to put the paint on the paper for some reason. I found it easier to use the brushes that I have. I think these are a different material than what these are made out of, but they're very soft. They're not like those stiff, gross paint brushes that you get for super cheap with like kids' paint palettes. They're pretty good quality. I just didn't prefer to use them, but I don't know, someone out there might like these, and I'm sure I will be using these in the future because I always need small paint brushes. Anyways, yeah, that was the paint brushes. Next is the watercolor pencils. I had a completely different take on these from the acrylic paint. I really, really enjoyed using them. They're Woodless pencils, and they went on the paper just like a normal pencil would. When you went over it with water, it smeared out really, really beautifully. It didn't really leave that many splotches on the paper. This is the sheet that I tried them out on, and I could have smoothed out this pencil texture a little bit more. I just didn't care that much on the swatch paper, but you can see on the actual project that it did smooth out pretty well. Just look at this yellow color. That is so beautiful. It looks just like watercolor paint. That's where I use them, and I also use them on these flowers here. Definitely recommend them if you are looking into trying out watercolor pencils. Next is the Fineliner Pens. This was the one I was probably the most excited about because I use pens a lot, and they came with so many colors. There are 72 colors in here, and as you can see, I kind of color coordinated it a little bit. There were a few pens that didn't go on the paper quite well. It kind of felt like they were almost out of ink in a way, or maybe they just needed to be worked out a little bit more to go on the paper smoothly, but the majority of these pens did work out very well on the paper. And here is the swatches all over here and over here. They're just generally very fun to use as liner pens go, and I do recommend these if you would like to get some fine liner pens. One more thing I'd like to say about these, I really like the shape. They are a triangular shape, and so when you put them on the table, they don't roll away, which is fantastic, and they just fit really nicely in their little container. Here are the real brush pens, and I think these might be the product that they are most famous for. I've seen a lot about them. So let me just take them out of the package once more so you can get a good look at them. These I was also pretty pleased with. The only problem I had was that some of the brushes did not come to a point. Like this one comes to a really, really nice, satisfying, beautiful point. Here is a perfect example. You can see the tip is kind of splayed a little bit at the end, so you can't really get that nice line with this pen because it's splayed like that. You can kind of like try to work around that, but it is a bit annoying to have to deal with. Besides that, they went on the paper really, really beautifully. These are all my color swatches for those pens, and also you can see how they write. And I'm not a calligraphist, so I'm sure if somebody who can do calligraphy got a hold of these pens, they would be able to do some really, really nice letters with them. But as you can see, the colors are beautiful, and I like the names. I always like it whenever the art company comes up with these cool names for their colors. And yeah, they're all very nice, bright, pigmented array of colors in the 48 pack. So I do recommend them despite the splayed brushes. I think they are a good product. And finally, we have the face paint. There are 16 colors in here, and it comes with 2 paint brushes, one that comes to a point. These have multiple colors in them because I used it for my hand and I kind of mixed colors a little bit, but I was pretty happy with these colors. I was at first a little bit concerned about the yellows because they didn't really show up on my arm very well when I did the swatches. However, I figured out that you really just need to have multiple layers of them, and then the yellow will show up pretty well. It was still a little bit of a weak color, but it is yellow, so that's kind of a hard color to deal with. I was happy with the paints. They come out of this little tray, so you can easily just access them like that. And it also comes with these temporary tattoos and these stencils, which I did not use either of these, but maybe you can see me using that in future Instagram posts. And so overall, I was pleased with the face paint as well. That was all the products. I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned some more about Arteza or Arteza. Still, I'm not sure on how to pronounce the name, but I really like this brand. Besides the acrylic paint, which I did have a problem with, I think they produce pretty good quality products, and they're good all around. Like, I am more experienced at art, but I will be using their products, and they're also good for beginners. They're priced pretty well. I have all the links to every single product in this video, including the drawing pad, in the description below, so be sure to click on those if you would like to buy these products. I am an affiliate for them, so that means if you click on those links and buy the product, that I will get a small commission from it. So if you do click on the links, I appreciate it so much, and I just want to thank you for doing that and supporting me and supporting their art company as well, and I really do think you will enjoy the product that you get. So if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a colorful thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel and you would like to see more art videos like these or art vlogs, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will be back next time with another video for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!